Hello guys, in this video I wanted to talk about what makes an explosion look like an explosion and how we can take our existing sim here and make it look something much bigger like the video I showed, which is here, which is this guy. And the primary thing that the human eye look for is the fast expansion at the beginning with a super bright spot, a super bright source, and then a huge expansion that happens over time, and then all the interesting visuals that happens afterward. And if you compare this with a real reference, it's probably not going to look very accurate, but it still feels like an explosion. There is a blast, and there is a huge fire, and then the fire is going up, and all this visual information satisfy the brain to believe that this is an explosion. It's not 100% physically accurate, but the fact that we have a fast blast and a bright smoke at the beginning representing fire, expansion, and things going upward, it means it's an explosion. We don't have to explain or provide anything extra. And we've set up a lot of things in our solver that's going to help us to quickly get these things happening. And the truth is, to take it from here, from this sim to this sim, it took me about 15 minutes to make the changes. And this is not because I know what to do, but it's because the solver has all the options and waiting to do this. And the primary thing that I had to change was I needed to make the expansion bigger at the beginning, and I need to make the buoyancy bigger. And by doing that, it expands, builds up more volume, which more divergence means faster velocity. Faster velocity means higher temperature. Higher temperature means it's going to go upward more. I still had to make tweaks for the temperature, for the buoyancy, so it goes up further, and that's pretty much it. And the next part is to really explore the emission part, and that the remaining, what's happening here, is going to be really easy to do and get set up. So let's take a look. I'm gonna lower this guy, so let's multiply it by 4, and I'm going to turn on caching. Cool. And this is the original file. And one thing I didn't like about the week 5 sim, you can see the fire bleeding outward. You can see it's dragging a lot further than the density. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take the temperature, this guy here, and I'm going to multiply it by density. Now what's going to happen here is actually it's going to do two things. One, which is to limit the temperature to only be there, but it's going to also change the temperature, and I'll explain why in a second. So that's good. Okay, now our sim here is really dense, and the density value can go from 0 to 100 or 1000, depends on how dense the volume is. In this case, it's much higher than 1. I think it's between 1 to 10, the density of the volume. And when we multiply the existing temperature with something that is higher than 1, it's gonna have more temperature in it. And based on the sim that you have, you're gonna have to tweak this. Now, the other thing that I like to change is I'm gonna increase the min velocity, and I'm also going to increase this. So it captures, I want to capture more range from the velocity. The minimum here is not 0 anymore, it's sharper, so if something moves less than 0.2, I don't account for it to be used for the temperature. And this is the second range, which will soften everything. Okay, so these two changes, and let's hit play and see what we get. Now, the other thing I changed was the emission, but this is just for the visual. Let me show you. So I wanted to make the big first tendrils go up a lot higher, and you can see the other guys are much shorter. So I increased the speed at which these points go upward, so we're going to do that as well. But so far, by just multiplying it by density, you can see now it's creating the tendrils, and then it's creating this the mushroom shape, and it's starting going upward. And this is the starting of the explosion. This is pretty much all we have to do to start our explosion, is to create more temperature and have some buoyancy to lift it upward. Now, the other main thing that is missing here is the expansion. We don't have a lot of expansion. Okay, you can see it's not expanding too much, and this is because we tweaked these settings based on this type of explosion. Cool. So let me go back and change the height at which the tendrils at the middle reach or stops. So let's see if this is the guys. I think it's these guys. No, it's these guys. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm gonna move this to increase the velocity. Select that. And I'm going to scale them down so they don't spread outward a lot. Let's hit play. Cool. And let's see what we have. Okay. Okay, let's see. Let's go to frame 24. Yeah, this is good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cache this. Week 6 and 30 frames. Let's cache 40. Sorry. Let's kill both of them. Submit, and then I believe, what is this doing? This is for the to scatter the points for the bounding box. Cool. So let's see here. I don't need this. I'm not sure why I have two of them. So okay, I'm gonna delete that. And let me check one thing. Sorry, I forgot the file setup. Okay, cool. So we're gonna use this. This is fine. Yeah, I'm gonna wait for this to finish, and then we'll continue in this video. Yeah, we'll continue in the next video. Thank you guys for watching, and see you in a bit.